But now I see how you were there for me, and I can say never would have made it. Hello, I just came again to encourage you guys. This video is called God Has a Ram in the Bush for You. We go through so much at times, that's when we're going through the storms. And I just want you to know, whatever your storm may be, whatever your giant may be, whether it's situations with your children, on your job, with your boss, with, financial issues, or, your spouse, whatever your issue is, or whatever your concern is, whatever you may be going through, please know that God has a ram in the bush for you. And that's what I want to talk about today. I think about Abraham, when he was tested by God to offer up Isaac, his son, as a sacrifice, and I think of how obedient he was to the Father, and because of his obedience, when he got ready to offer up his son, God actually had, stopped it, and it was actually a ram in the bush. But I think about, when he was going through when he was walking to take his son Isaac to be offered as a sacrifice, I just try to imagine what was going on through Abraham's mind, when he had to, think about it. He had his son in his very old age, and this was his promised child, but I wonder what he went through. If it was me, I'd probably been like, just not knowing what to do. But he was just obedient, even to that very moment when he got ready to offer Isaac as a sacrifice upon the sacrifice, wherever, he had to, at that place where he had to offer him. The angel of the Lord called out to Abraham, and he told him to, stop, and it was, Abraham turned around, and there was a ram in the bush. The ram was actually the sacrifice that, the Father already had, but he was just testing Abraham's faith, and so, I think about that a lot when we go through trials, when we go through problems, when we go through situations, when we are up against the wall, when we are facing situations that it just don't seem to work out, or when the closest one to us let us down and hurt us in some form of way, and I just, when we are in that wilderness, that trying time, a lot of these things happens are just a test of our faith, and just a couple of days ago, I was down in my body. I was like very, very, wasn't feeling well at all, and I really didn't have the strength to actually just pray. All I wanted to really do was just lay down and rest, because that's, the pain in my body was so, excruciating, that it was like, I can't even explain it. But, I had to gather strength from somewhere, and I had to pray. I pushed on. I pushed on through, and, I kept praying. I kept saying, through his stripes, I am healed. I was like, you cannot, Satan, you cannot live in my body. Sickness and diseases, I command you to go right now. Sickness is not part of my DNA. and you cannot stay in my body. I had to continue to fight. I'm like at, praying to the Father. I'm like, I'm not gonna let you go until you bless me. I'm not gonna let you go. You told me that Yeshua died for my sins. He died that I have life and have it more abundantly. He died that I be healed. And I'm like, through his stripes, I'm healed. I'm taking it by faith. And I had to continue to say that, for a couple of days. Now, those first couple of days, if you'd have seen me, it would have looked almost like a hopeless case, but I thank God for my children that was there for me, providing me with the medication, encouragement that I needed, and I look at my children were that ram in the bush for me. God's word was that ram in the bush for me, because how we know that his word is alive, it's quick, and it's powerful, and it's sharper than any double-edged sword. And I kept standing on that word. I refused to be sick. And I'm going to tell you, by that third day, my children, when they seen me, it was like, wow, I'm up again. I had my strength back and I'm ready to go. And I said, Satan, I'm ready to crush your head, because I get sick of that thing. I get so sick of him, because he's behind everything that we mostly go through. But he has to the Father has give him permission. He cannot do anything without God's permission. So when I think of those things, then I have to think, okay, there's a reason that I'm going through this, So either it's a test of my faith, and I look at, and sometimes, all things work together for our good, because I went through that pain. I can have passion for someone that's sick in their body and asking me to pray, because I already been through that thing, and I know how it feels, to be in pain day after day. I know how that feels. So I have passion for someone else, and it worked out for my good, because I stood on the word and I kept praying. I did not give up. And I can, encourage someone else that they can do the same thing. So all things work together for our good. But I just want to tell you, sometimes it's just a test of your faith. It's just a test of your obedience. God just want to see, how are you gonna trust him in your storms? He said he'll keep our minds in perfect peace, who minds are stayed on him. And in that pain, I couldn't feel the peace, because there was so much pain. And I kept remembering that scripture, you would keep me in perfect peace if my mind is stayed on you. And I kept trying to just see him, and just, I see you, Father. I love you, Father. I'm going to keep my mind stayed on you. And I'm going to tell you, a couple of days, I was healed, and I was back in my full force. And if you seen me those couple of days, you would not have believed that how immediately that I was healed, and my strength was given back to me, and I can honestly say I could not have made it if it wasn't for the Father. So I am here to encourage you through your wilderness, through your storms, through your children acting up. If you don't know where your children are, whatever your situation, somebody may be going against you on the job. It could be your boss. You may be having financial issues. You may be having issues with your spouse. Someone may have said something to hurt your feelings or done you wrong, and you don't understand why. And I'm just going to say, just hold in there. Keep a good attitude. Give it to God. Put that thing in God's hands and let him deal with it. Sometimes we just got to say, Father, no matter what, I'm just going to trust you. I'm going to trust you through the storm, and basically that is our sacrifice. When we keep praying for you. I want to encourage you. Keep praying for your families. Your family members, those that are out there that has not accepted the God in your heart, keep praying for them. Keep praying that they, that God just deal with their hearts. Keep praying. You are the one standing in that gap for them. You may be that very one that break that generational curse. So we got to. We got to get, people want to take prayer out of things, but the prayer of the righteous availeth much. Prayer changes things. I'm reminded of Second Chronicles 7:14. It said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. Then will I forgive their sins and I will heal their land. It's that simple. We have to turn back to prayer. We got to turn back to the Most High. We got to give our problems to Him. And He will make a way. He will make a way out of nowhere. And that nowhere is that ram in the bush. He is Jehovah Jireh, our provider. He will provide for us. He is Jehovah Nisi, our banner. Jehovah Shalom, our peace. Jehovah Rapha, our healer. He is Jehovah Gabor. He even war on His children's behalf. We just got to trust Him, and we just got to lay it at the feet, lay it at the feet of Yeshua, lay it at His feet, and we got to trust and believe that God got this. Okay, He got this. He is the Most High God. He is the creator of the universe. There's nothing too hard for Him, and there's nothing impossible for Him. It may be impossible with man, but with God, all things are possible. So I just want to encourage you. Keep going. Never give up on God, because He will never give up on you. Never give up. And when you come out of this storm, know that you're going to come out better than you were before. Keep a good attitude. It's all about faith, hope, and love. And the greatest we know is love. Keep a good attitude. Keep loving. Keep being at peace with yourself and with God. Keep being at peace with other people, no matter how they treat you. You keep being at peace, and you put them people in God's hand, and you pray for them, and you watch how God bring you out. No matter what is situation, you may have a problem with your car not working. Whatever your situation, no matter what your situation, God can work it out for you. Just put it in His hands and know that He has a ram in the bush. He is Jehovah Jireh, our provider. Just be encouraged. Keep going and know that I love you and the Most High loves you more. Be encouraged.